Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're going to be focusing specifically on Litecoin. We'll hit Bitcoin and some of the markets really quickly, but I have been a huge fan of Litecoin for a very long time. I've been an investor in Litecoin since 2017. I have not sold any of my spot. I just sold a very small amount, just trying to trade it because I think it's getting just a little bit overextended. I think it's going to come back just a tiny amount, not much. And then I'm going to try to re-add my spot back. And then I think we're going to be up into a larger leg that's going to go extremely high. I have some very large price targets for Litecoin. I'm going to talk about why I think it is so strong right now, especially. And I'm going to talk about, the price targets, what is so special about Litecoin and why I've been so bullish on it for a very long time. So let's go. All right, so very first thing, if you want to go ahead and follow me over on X, I have been talking about Litecoin for quite some time. If I go to my just top, tweets about it, you can see here, I've had a very large leverage position open, and I said even if we go back to the all-time highs, you're going to see a large amount of profit, and the stop loss is a small amount of risk in comparison to the profit you could see on it. I've been talking about it for quite some time. As you can see, there's been a lot of whale manipulation on Litecoin. It is a smaller market cap, so it's a little bit easier to basically abuse the price of it, but it also has an ETF that's coming into approval in, I believe, October is the latest it could be approved. It could be approved earlier. I haven't seen any news about ETF approvals or anything so far. Let me just take a look real quick to make sure I'm not missing some news. I think this is just a legitimate breakout from the structure. So if you go here on the daily, you can see here, if I draw a line right through the 2021 close. Let me clean up this chart a little bit because it's a little bit dirty with all those, oops, what's happening here? There we go. Oh, there we go. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. So if you draw a line through the candle close, the daily candle close up here at the top of 2021 through the highest candle close here, you can see that we did basically just break out of this. So we came out of here, we came back, bullish retest. My Camel Finance indicator has been telling me that the daily cycle low is in, and now we've just been rocketing up for the last 1, 2, 3 days, 3 very large candles. I have a feeling that we'll come up to either this $130 mark or even maybe this 135, get a very small pullback. Doesn't have to be a large pullback at all. It says my Camel Finance indicator is telling me that the weekly cycle low is going to be sometime in August, so we might get another chance. If this dips at all, I would recommend picking up spot or even opening up leverage. I do have an affiliate link below if you want to try Bitunix. It's an amazing exchange to buy spot. I do have a big leverage trade. I had about a $50,000 position open. I did take a small amount of profits. If this dips at all back, you can see I sold about, I don't know, it was like maybe 15-20% at about $121, and I just sold, I just closed a larger position at about 127-ish, and if it comes back at all, I'll be adding that back in with size. But if you feel like leverage trading, affiliate link below, it gives you a nice discount on fees if you use my affiliate link, and it helps out the channel. It's the best way to help out the channel. If you look at liquidation heat map for Litecoin, you can see that we came down here. A lot of people were shorting Litecoin, so the price has moved up and liquidated a lot of longs. This could be institutions accumulating for the ETF. It could just be liquidating these longs, and it could just be the breakout from this basically bull flag that we have here. If you draw some other lines, you can see that we have something like this. So basically we have pumped from these lower prices up. And if I really zoom out and we go to like the weekly here, you can see how close we are to the bottom of this chart here, right? So if I draw basically an ascending channel through the daily closes of these up here and along all of this support on the bottom, you can see the downside risk is very minimal for Litecoin, right? The worst we could go down is, I don't know, 40%, but the upside is, 230% at a minimum. But I had some very, very large price targets for that. I'll talk about that in a second here. Another thing that's really interesting is there's MEI pharmaceutical company that has they're making basically a Litecoin treasury. Litecoin is extremely special, just like Bitcoin. So Litecoin has been running since, it's one of the oldest cryptocurrencies there are. As I said, I've been a holder since 2017, but there's also a capped max supply on Litecoin like Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin has 21 million max supply. Litecoin has 84 million max supply. Lux is another one that is a treasury company that's been accumulating. And I actually also opened a very large position on Lux Folio at about, where was it? Let's see here. What is my cost basis for this? I've been buying this in my brokerage account. I picked up a bunch of it at 26 cents. So that was pretty good. Now, if I change this to US dollars, because it is a Canadian company, you can see right now they are all the way up, and I'm already up a cool 40% here on my big Lux position. And I have a feeling that this is going to go up and skyrocket even more, maybe come up here with the price of Litecoin going up like crazy. Obviously, this is going to see that as well. But just the other day, we had a confirmed daily cycle low and also a daily buy signal. And I did talk about this both in my Discord. I think I talked about this on X, and a lot of my videos that I've been accumulating Lux. I've been accumulating Litecoin for quite some time. So I'm looking forward to this. Let's check, does MEI, let me see here, MEIP, sorry, MEIP, MEI Pharmaceuticals. They actually had a day signal on the TD sequential indicator as well, a daily buy signal. So I don't have any of them, but this might be a good proxy to Litecoin as well. If you, for some reason, don't have access to crypto and you only have access to, you know, like a stock account, you could purchase either of these, no problem, if you want to get access to it. There is also the trust. Now, there is a Grayscale Litecoin trust that is extremely, I had a massive position in this Litecoin trust way back here, and it's just been bleeding like crazy. I did close some of it, but I have a feeling this one also says on my Camel Finance indicator that the daily low is in for this one. So I have a feeling this is going to gap up pretty hard once the market opens. It doesn't show pre-market for me for any of these three, but I just thought those were interesting to talk about those stock picks right there. But as you can see, there's a lot of upside. And why have I been saying that I think this is going to, basically $1,000, $999? I'll talk about, actually, before I get to my price target, let's talk about some pairs for this. Now, if we go to my little pairs here, Litecoin, that's not what I'm looking for. Let's go right here. Litecoin Bitcoin pair has a massive breakout and retest. So if you can see here, we go to the 8 hour here, you can see that we basically came out of this. We've been bottoming for a while now, ever since about 5:30 here of this year. We've been bottoming down here. We broke above the bull market support band. Now this is the Litecoin Bitcoin pair, right? So we printed this big bull flag, and we came back and we retested this bull market support band, which is this white band of moving averages. And then now, of course, we have a massive breakout. If you go on the daily, we've been breaking out for 1, 2, 3. And the best part is we actually came out, we retested it, and then we launched back again. I made a whole video about this. It's also double bottoming on the Litecoin God, I can't talk today. The Litecoin Ethereum pair, but you can see I have been talking about this for a while now. Where is that chart? Yeah, here we go. So Litecoin is one of the only ones breaking out. I'm sorry, holding structure. Man, I really can't talk today. Didn't get a lot of sleep, so bear with me here. I wanted to show you one other message I put in here. Look at that beautiful breakout. Oh yeah, one of my boys, Litecoin here on X, shout out to you, basically posted this on August 2nd. When was that? That was Saturday. And I made a video about it, and I said, hey, look, we broke out of the Litecoin Bitcoin pair. We came back, we retested it, and we're having a nice little breakout out of this bull flag. And he sent me this picture and said, hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another Litecoin video, because I have been a huge supporter of Litecoin for a very long time. I've made a lot of videos about Litecoin. I think it's going to be one of the strongest cryptocurrencies this cycle, and we're now finally getting that confirmation. So I've been talking about this for quite some time. Let's look at the Litecoin ETH pair as well. So if we go down to my little ETH pairs here, Litecoin, Ethereum, I noticed this nice little double bottom here. I actually didn't even notice it. It was Mr. Toad here, Mr. Toad right here, Mr. Toad, Satoshi. Little play on Satoshi, of course. He's been a huge Litecoin fan as well, and posting about it. Someone says look like a giraffe. He's been posting a lot about Litecoin as well. I have, of course, as well. So I didn't even notice on the Ethereum pair. Again, I've been saying for a while that if you want to measure the strength of your altcoins, measure them against Ethereum right now, because we're in Ethereum season, right? So we had this nice double bottom, and then it's got bought up and just blasted out of here. If you look on the daily chart, we've basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of up only. We might see some resistance at this red moving average really soon. As I said, I've taken a very tiny amount of profits. I have a bunch of Litecoin on cold storage, but on my Coinbase account, I just took a little bit of profits on Litecoin just because I think it's this big move is getting a tiny bit overextended. I don't think it's coming back to, under $100 maybe ever again. So don't think that I'm looking for that big of a pullback, but I do think this is a little bit of trying to liquidate some longs here. I'm sorry, liquidate some shorts. You can see a lot of these shorts have been liquidated. Now there's longs building up below. So maybe we squeeze about 130, a pullback to maybe 118. If we go to like the 3-day, you can see this is the liquidity heat map for it. So we could come up here, squeeze the 130. We could come back down here, squeeze this 118, and then just rock it into the stratosphere, right? So another thing is on my trading indicator, it's been telling me that we're just a little bit oversold here. Overbought on this. I've been trying out this new TD sequential indicator, and it seems to be pretty good at grabbing pullbacks. Now you can see some of these pullbacks are literally only like a 7% pullback, right? So when the 1 day, I have an 8-hour here. This last, 8-16 hour was a very small pullback, maybe only 10%. This pullback on the 5-day was about 11%. So even if we come up here to, I don't know, let's say 130 and then pull back, 10%, that's just basically taking us back to this 115, 116. So I have sold a small amount. If it comes back here, I'm buying all of my position back, maybe and then some, at 115. We also have these fib retracement levels. So if I go here and I pull a fib channel, so if you go here on TradingView and you do fib retracement and you pull it from the top of this last run here at $150 and you pull it down to the bottom about $63, you can see we have these fib levels on the right hand side, and you can see right now we're getting close to the 0.786. We kind of bounced off this 0.5 fib. 0.5 is very important because it shows strength. If you're above the 50% of the move, you're very strong. If you're below it, you're a little bit weak, but obviously that can all change very quickly. Like you've seen right here. I mean, look at this last 4-hour candle is a nice, 6% push, no problem. So been a beautiful breakout of this bull flag. And there was even a smaller bull flag that I've been watching for a while. Is this the one I've been watching? This has been a bull flag for only a couple of weeks, but there was a bigger one. If I go on the daily, I need to clean this up a little because it's very messy with all of my trading indicators here. This was the bull flag that we've been testing for quite some time. So we've had this bigger bull flag right here. Let me just do a channel actually real quick. We've had this bigger bull flag right here that we broke out of back in the beginning of July. We made another smaller bull flag and we're breaking out again. So again, as I said, I think we're going to continue moving. I'm sure we'll see some resistance as well up at this $150 range because that was about the peak for the last run, which happened in December. We had a massive run up in December, and you can see we had to cool off for a little bit. So it's very common to get very big, large moves like this and then cool off for a bit. Very big, large moves. Whenever you're getting these big pullbacks, it's time to add Litecoin if you want to increase your position size for Litecoin. So what else can we look at? Price targets. Let's get to price targets. Why do I think Litecoin is going to go to $1,000? And there's one thing that I use, Ben Cohen. I have a premium subscription to him, but I have these really nice, I have access to them, I should say. But if you look at the screener here, you can look at Litecoin right here. And he has these risk curves. So what he does is basically adds a bunch of information, and you can see that Litecoin loves to go to the one risk curve, all the way to one, right? So that is this red line right here. So every cycle top, 2014, 2018, 2021, they've hit one risk on his risk curves. Right now, the risk for Litecoin is only 0.54. That's why I've been saying Litecoin is a very good low risk investment option for altcoins. A lot of the older altcoins are very, very risky. They basically have no use. Litecoin is used as a store of value, and it's used as, transactions. It has very, very low fees compared to Bitcoin, and it is extremely fast when you send transactions, right? Not to mention that it has 84 million max supply, which makes it a good store of value as well. If we go all the way down to the one risk curve, he's saying that this cycle, Litecoin is going to hit $1,000. $1,000. That's pretty insane. So, you could sell a small portion at 0.9 risk, which is $637. You could get rid of some at 0.95, which is almost $800. And you can get rid of the rest of your spot at $1,000. Now, I will always leave some Litecoin on my cold storage for life because, again, the max supply, there's a cap on max supply. So it's going to be something just like Bitcoin where, over time, the value is going to go up and up and up and up. And you can see that the old all-time high is, what is the current all-time high? We basically hit it twice, about $420, $415. So we hit this max here, this all-time high, twice. Once in 2017, once in 2021. So we're at least making it up to there. And as you can see, the floor has been rising for Litecoin. So, we pulled back to $23, then we pulled back to $32, then we pulled back to $46, then we pulled back to $58. So you can see the minimum floor for Litecoin is ever increasing. Of course, this is based in US dollars, and the value of US dollars only goes down. So you can see that I think it's about time here. So we've broken out of this big structure here. And as I said, we're going to go up. We're going to hit at least 400, but I think we're going to hit $999. We'll call it 1,000 on the dot here. So I'm super bullish on Litecoin. Let's just, before I get out of here, let's just kind of talk about Bitcoin real quick, what we got going on, because Bitcoin, of course, leads in terms of the cryptocurrencies. It is the biggest share here. There we go. So if we go to, let's just go to like the 4 hour here, you can see we're kind of just chopping around in this range, but we are back inside this bull flag. I'm expecting Bitcoin to break out in the relative short term. I think we do have a potential for coming up to this 118, maybe making a rejection here, coming down here and making a lower high. If you look at the moon phases, which is something I do look at, you can see that we're actually going to get a bull moon on this Friday. So usually when you get these bull moons, you get a large price rocket. You can see here's the last one. We saw the price go up a lot. When we get the bear moon, as I've been calling it, you can see we get some dips. So the moon phase is coming up at this Friday. I think right now we're seeing just a lot of volatility because there's a lot of traders getting liquidated. Retail is kind of fully coming into the picture now. So that is adding some volatility as well. But anyways, that's going to be it for the video. I'm super bullish on Litecoin. My brain's a little bit scattered. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. It's hard with a newborn at home and a toddler. And, I'm back to work now. No more paternity leave. So my brain's a bit scattered. So sorry about that. But if you guys are enjoying the content, press the like, press the subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone. And if you do want to do any leverage trading, feel free to use my link below. Bitunix is my favorite exchange. Oh, nice. We're still breaking out. So that's good to see. But if you want to try and leverage trading, or if you just want to buy spot, also you can do non-KYC spot on Bitunix. So that gives you a little bit more privacy if you want to do that. They don't send that information to the IRS, which it sounds like actually they have changed that rule in the United States lately. So, but yeah, Bitunix is legal on pretty much any country, and especially the United States, where a lot of them are not legal. So that's it. Have a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys.